We're seeing a variety of new games set to release in 2024, but one genre that has remained notably quiet is stealth games. No pun intended. It's been really hard to find a great stealth game recently. That's why I've put together a list of the 10 best stealth games that you can play right now. And let me tell you, these games will really test your sneak level. Deus Ex. Mankind Divided keeps you thinking all the way through. Unlike any other stealth game, you receive your objectives and that's it. You're on your own to figure out how to complete them. You can talk to NPCs, hack systems, gather intel, and then choose how to approach each problem. It's all about the choices you make. Sure, you could take a lethal approach, but you also have the means to complete the game without killing anyone. That's something I love about the Deus Ex series. Plus, the story is great. Definitely recommended. Plague Tale Requiem is a rare and underrated gem in the stealth action genre, and I think it deserves more praise. You play as Amicia, a young girl trying to stay alive with her brother Hugo as they navigate through plague-ridden, war-torn medieval France. The stealth in this game is quite different. It's more slow-paced and mostly non-lethal, offering a mix of tense hide-and-seek moments and clever puzzle solving. It still gives you multiple ways to approach each scenario, whether it's using the environment to your advantage, creating distractions, or silently taking out foes. But the whole experience just becomes so much better with the game's deeply moving narrative that stays with you long after you've finished the game. How can we possibly forget about the awesome Hitman series? Personally, I prefer the older Hitman games, but I have to admit that the newer ones are much easier to get into. They feature better graphics and overall improved gameplay. Regardless of which you choose, Hitman is an absolute blast. It gives you total freedom to take out high-profile targets in any way you want. You can go all out and take down enemies like crazy, or take a more calculated, non-lethal approach like a true assassin, which is the essence of the game. You can disguise yourself as anyone, use the environment to your advantage, and use a variety of tools and weapons to eliminate your targets without anyone knowing. This game really pushes you to think like a true assassin, planning to always stay 2 steps ahead of your enemies.
Target down. Next up, Francesca Descent.
When we think about stealth games, 2D platformer isn't a genre that often comes to mind unless you are a big fan of Mark of the Ninja. This game is an absolute gem in this genre. It makes you feel like the coolest ninja ever, sneaking around in the shadows, setting up traps, and taking down enemies with stealth. One of the best parts is using a variety of awesome ninja tools, like smoke bombs and noise darts, to your advantage. You can distract enemies, lure them into traps, or silently take them out, all with super smooth 2D animation and spot-on controls. Of course, I had to include at least one stealth game that focused on horror, and I think Alien Isolation is a great fit. This game isn't about you taking out high-profile targets, enemies, or monsters. Instead, you are the one getting hunted by a creepy alien, and must find a way to stay out of its sight. You have to use every trick in the book to survive, sneaking around the dark alleys, hiding in lockers, and even distracting the alien to stay alive. But it's not so easy. This alien isn't just some mindless monster. It learns from your moves and adapts, making you feel the rising tension and suspense as you try to survive in this dark world. If you are a fan of horror games looking for stealthy gameplay, you should definitely give Alien Isolation a shot. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, man, you should have gone with Chaos Theory. To that, I say, of course you can go with Chaos Theory, but I just love Blacklist a little more. This game combines the best of Conviction and Chaos Theory to offer a sandbox stealth adventure that is both challenging and fun. It's a perfect blend of action and stealth, where you have to be sneaky, but still get to enjoy those epic takedowns that look straight out of a John Wick movie. Now, if you are looking for more horror games with stealth, we have to check out Gloomwood, this exceptionally brilliant early access game that is better than many finished games out there. Gloomwood is kinda like Thief meets Bloodborne, with a world that feels super creepy, with dimly lit corridors, abandoned mansions, and sinister alleyways that create a sense of tension and mystery as you explore it. The stealth in this game feels more methodical and slow-paced. You don't just become sneaky when you are crouch walking or moving slowly behind an enemy. It matters where you are walking. A creaking floorboard might give you away, even if you are really careful. You always have to keep an eye on that ring, which tells you how noticeable you are with how brighter it glows. The stealth here is rooted in realism rather than supernatural powers, and that's what makes Gloomwood stand out from other games in the genre.
Good luck, dog. You're gonna need this.
Dishonored 2 is an absolute masterpiece that I can't get enough of. I mean, I have played a ton of modern stealth action games, but this one definitely takes the crown. Sure, it's not a pure stealth game. You can still choose to take the lethal approach, but the game is most rewarding when you play it non-lethally at the hardest difficulty. Unlike many games, the AI enemies in Dishonored 2 are super smart and vigilant, reacting to the slightest noise or movement, which makes every infiltration feel incredibly rewarding.
Did you hear that?
I remember spending hours trying to plan my moves, using everything from rooftops and vents to distractions and gadgets to stay out of sight. Some of the credit goes to the team who have designed these brilliant levels with multiple pathways and hidden routes for you to take. Plus, you get to play the game as one of two characters, Emily or Corvo, each with their own unique abilities, powers, and personalities, which adds tons of replayability to the game.
More Grand Guard soldiers. Lapdogs for the Deus.
Now, let's talk about Thief 2, a game that kind of defined the stealth game genre. Released all the way back in 2000, the graphics do look dated by today's standards, but its gameplay mechanics and atmosphere remain unmatched. Thief 2 is a pure stealth game in the true sense of the word. This game requires you to stay undetected as you steal, pickpocket, hide in the shadows, or sneak past the guards to keep moving. Sure, the enemy AI might not be as advanced as the modern games, but it's designed in such a way that it always keeps you on your toes, with a growing tension of getting caught at any moment. If you want to play this game to experience one of the pioneers of the stealth genre, you can just throw in a graphic mod to help bump up the visuals while keeping the original gameplay intact. At number 1, I have to hand it to Metal Gear Solid 5, the crown jewel of a legendary series known for its groundbreaking stealth action. This game makes you feel like an absolute ghost, infiltrating enemy bases and executing high-stakes missions with precision and stealth. With its open-world design, MGS5 lets you choose multiple approaches for each mission, allowing you to strategize and adapt as you see fit. Despite being a bit older now, this game offers some of the best enemy AI I've encountered in a stealth game. The enemies are highly responsive, reacting to your actions and even the changing environment. For instance, if you tranquilize guards during a night infiltration, other soldiers will discover the unconscious bodies, sound the alarm, and increase vigilance.
Hey, you okay?
They adapt to your tactics by wearing helmets if you aim for headshots, using night vision goggles if you infiltrate at night, and changing patrol patterns. This level of AI intelligence is rarely seen in other games. This is a must-play for any gamer, even if you're not a big fan of stealth. That sums up my list of the top 10 best stealth games. Let me know which one is your favorite and why. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future.
Subject on board. Leave the room.